Hi guys, it's the Big Tech Show and my name is Benjamin Dada. Today, I'm going to be speaking with the country lead of Dell Technologies, Abimbola Owoeye. Dell Technologies is one of the world's largest PC vendors. To find out what we're going to be talking about, stay tuned. I know you're a busy man, so thank you for joining me today on the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Right. So I'll just go right into it. When I grew up, I was hearing about a couple of tech companies, right? So there's Google, there's Microsoft, there's Dell, there's HP. So can you just tell me what it feels like to, work at Dell and how you go in there?
Oh,
yeah.
You must be very young, man. When I was growing up, there was no Google.
Right.
I grew up with, Apple, then the likes of Dell.
Microsoft.
HP. Then HP used to be Compaq,
Yes.
Compaq computer then. Yeah, and the likes of Microsoft wasn't producing a PC then.
Okay.
So I grew up I'm not too old. I'm advanced in age.
Okay.
Let's have it that way. Yeah. So growing up for me was grew up into not into technology. I mean, I finished my first degree with applied geophysics in university.
Yeah.
But when I did my NYC in CBN, that was the first time I had access to computer,
Right.
Personal computer that where I work. I own for hours in a day.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty much where I got aware of what tech space is. And I took big interest in it. I was supposed to join Halliburton after NYC, but
oil and gas money.
Because I applied geophysics and then doing geophysical surveys and things like that, the study of the subsurface for oil and things. But that didn't work for me because I felt I got excited with my experience with computer.
Okay.
I mean, the first time I had it, I was so drenched into it during my NYC. Once I finished work at 4, I stayed till about 8 p.m. friendly with the system.
Yeah.
Then I wanted to do more, I wanted to know more. And I've always been very interested in doing business.
Okay.
And I decided to see where would be my entry point in the industry. And clearly it was being a sales executive. By then I couldn't tell my parents that I got a job as a sales executive.
Why?
Because it wasn't popular.
Right.
It wasn't an engineering job. It wasn't a doctor or medical practitioner.
And it wouldn't have been as lucrative as the oil and gas business.
It didn't look like that. But if you look at the likes of Zig Ziglar, Ross Perot, when you look at the industry then, people who made it, who are billionaires today, they were salespeople.
Right.
In their own right. So I decided, okay, let me go into this. So I joined one small startup business then called B2B Solutions. Okay. And it was pretty nice. I mean, it's a nice experience. I stayed there for like about a year before I moved on to joining Computer Warehouse Group. Yes. And so that for me, that's how I grew up. But from Computer Warehouse was the Nigerian representative for Dell. So I've had my experience with Dell, selling Dell laptops, Dell systems, all the way from Computer Warehouse until 2010 when I went to join EMC. So predominantly that was my background. And until 2016 when Dell and EMC merged to form the Dell Technologies that we have today, which is the biggest IT manufacturing infrastructure company in the world.
Wow, that's amazing. So I see that you've risen, about 15 years at Dell, and now you're doing, the work of a country lead for Dell Technologies. What does your day-to-day look like now? And compared to, maybe your early days, how have things evolved for you?
Eventually, things evolved.
Yeah.
And I think I'm pretty much in my comfort zone. What's my comfort zone? What do I mean by that is I love to provide solutions as an individual. It's my natural space to sell and bringing solutions to people. Bringing solutions to people, to businesses, and I find my comfort in that. I don't even get tired of doing that, But it's So my day-to-day comes with, I wake up in the morning. Yeah, of course, you be with God, you say your prayers, and you refresh yourself spiritually, and then have to get enough strength for the day, motivate yourself.
Yeah.
Now I do my personal training.
Do you do the whole CEO sleep 3 hours a day, or you try to sleep well?
The richest man in the world today, Jeff Bezos, he says he sleeps 8 hours. So if he sleep, I'm trying to catch up with him. If he sleeps 8 hours, and then he's still the richest man. So it's not how much of sleep you lose that really, really makes you. But it's about how much of the need of the people you're meeting and what's the value the people are ready to pay for it. That really, really matters. I mean,
that's fundamental.
Yeah, it's pretty fundamental. And you know, Dell Technologies with an annual income of over close to $100 billion yearly. Started from Michael Dell, who happens to be one of my role models too. You know, and that's an entrepreneur. I mean, who has been there and done it and is successful with it. So it's a model, it's someone that I want to really model with. And if you look at him, there's nothing too fantastic in terms of habits. We talk about that, but it's about meeting the needs. When you meet needs and people are willing to pay for that service, you just need to choose in the echelon who is willing to pay more for what you're offering and be relevant. I mean, doing the relevant things, and you know, I think that works. That's typically for me.
Thank you so much. So you know, like you've seen a lot of innovation, different phases. You know, there's been second revolution, third revolution. You know, now we're talking about automation, talking about augmentation. What are some of these standout innovations that have really changed, you know, the way human beings, even for instance, interact with the personal computer, or you know, interact with just any computer? So what are some of those innovations that have, you know, come into place that really made personal computers and even smartphones, you know, a thing in our time?
For me, it depends on the vertical. You know, when you want to look at what area, what vertical you want to speak to. But what I've seen that has come, that's cut across the global space is like Uber. Take for example, the Uber app. Today, if you don't have a phone or don't have a computer, you can't even enjoy the service. Otherwise, somebody's doing it for you. You know, something like that, before you can consume that service. So for me, the taxi industry, the transformation in the taxi industry with advent of Uber and the Taxify and the likes of it, has changed the landscape. And then you see the same thing with the hotel services, with the Airbnb. And these are things that if you don't have a personal computer, if you don't have a phone, like a mobile device, you can't enjoy, you can't participate in that space. So but I know when I was growing up, like, I mean, I'll say, Nigeria only had about 500,000 lines where you have to go and queue to make phone calls. I was privileged to have a phone in my house, but you know, my parents would lock the phone. Then you learn how to tap and things like that. So you know, I've seen things, you know, transformed over the time, and those transformation has really brought advancement to humanity. You know, I know a colleague of mine's son entered into the plane last year, and he was complaining about the speed of the internet. And I wondered, man.
When you're growing up, no internet on the plane. You have to switch off everything.
Internet on the plane? Do you have internet in the house? You don't even know what is called internet. So then, I mean, today it's become like a staple. You know, if you don't have internet, you're nowhere. I look back every day and I'm happy with the decision I took when I was finishing my NYC, rather to go the oil and gas space than go into the tech space. Because oil and gas was something everybody was talking negatively about. Oh, the oil price was going up. You know, oil. I mean, we still have electric cars. We still, I mean, trying to downplay the relevance of oil and gas then. And I chose to go into tech, and I have no single regret.
I can imagine how difficult it would have been for you. In fact, you know, up until when I was going into the university, people were still considering oil and gas opportunities. But at least by my time, it was a bit more glaring that tech was a career path. So you choosing tech far back then must have been, you know, must have really paid off, and visionary of you.
I agree with you then that it was a dark age and people wouldn't know. And, you know, I have a basic principle. And, you know, where I follow that, and I've always prayed to God to direct my path. You know, so I believe it's one of those things is that that's a result of God guiding my path and helping me to choose what's the right thing for me. You know, so I really adore that decision, and I know I won't live to regret it. So for me, you know, tech is the thing in this within every relevance to the world, every relevance to humanity. It's a center point for everything. You know, I mean, today, you go to an hotel or to a restaurant, everybody's talking about the QR code. The NIPS just launched the QR code in Nigeria. I mean, a lot of fintech coming up and talking about, it's all about the advancement too. That is leveraging technology. You know, imagine there was no internet. How do you want to talk about payment system? Imagine there's no internet. How do you want to talk about even the banking services? You know, I grew up when my dad used to give me a check. I have to go to a particular branch of the bank that his account was domiciled, and then I have to queue to enjoy the service. But right today, man, on my phone, man, I can do transfers.
I remember when last I went to the bank.
Why would I go to the bank? I mean, well, any bank that is asking me to come to the branch, they don't need my
your business.
They don't need my business.
So let's go into, you know, like with every innovation, right? A lot of business leaders have to make a decision, right? Do we go it alone, or do we partner, right? So, for instance, if you were an Apple, right, and you wanted to create the iPhone, you can decide, you know what, I want to make the chip, I want to make the screen, I want to make everything that makes up, you know, an iPhone, right? So how have you seen business leaders choose what to do by themselves and where to partner for success?
You know, what I say to that is the event, the occasion determines the act that should meet up for such, what's the best. If you have an outcome you're looking for, you're hoping to get, what you would do will depend on the outcome you're looking for. You want to play in the global space. You must be open enough. You must be objective enough to open yourself to ideas and what's going to take you there. If you being by yourself and doing it by yourself, you will think it would take you there, and you need to assess per time where you are. You know, the best gift that God gave us is our mind, and you know, people use it any way they like. If you can do a self-assessment, or you can do situational assessment, that helps you. You know, there is no one cap fits all to the answer. It's about what outcome are you really looking for? What are you really desirous of? You've seen people take decisions about their business and they think they've reached the greatest height, and you see somebody come and take over that business and catapult it with new ideas. So it's about how your mind suits the occasion to take you to the outcome you're looking for. So there is no fixed way to it. For me, when partnership is needed, go for it. When you need to compete, go for it. When you need to cooperate, you know, we cooperate.
What does that mean?
No, there are times that you may have competition, and then you and the competition may need to come together to cooperate on some things, in some ideas, in some new products, in some new services. I mean, for example, I know about Flutterwave as a fintech. Flutterwave I don't think they can do well without cooperating with some banks. And if they want to compete against banks, they may not be able to get to where they're getting to. And they need to cooperate and sometimes compete. And on some things. So you must do situational analysis and take the best decision, that helps you. The only problem is when people are beclouded with ego, emotional situation. In business, try to pack your emotions and then do what is best for the business per time.
Okay, so you work at a multinational, right? With offices in different countries, right? A lot of indigenous technology firms in Nigeria are also thinking about expansion. Is there something they should be putting in front of them? How do they go about the whole market research, knowing where to expand to, if to even expand. There was an interesting debate about whether every company should expand. So, what are your thoughts around, expansion for, business success?
I very much believe every business should grow.
Okay.
You either grow inward or you're expanding. As long as you're growing, you're progressing, you're bringing relevance and spreading your services, and and you're making the money, because the essence of doing business is to make money.
Yes, perfect.
Predominantly. So I believe everything should grow. Even God, it's not the way God created the world at the beginning that it is today.
Okay.
So everything is growing, and if it's not growing, there's a problem. It's either there's a sickness somewhere or something wrong is happening somewhere. So I believe in growth.
Okay.
Growth is, is psychoscience that, everything should grow. It now depends on the visionary. The person who had a vision originally, what is he seeing? I believe so much in as far as one can see, but firstly in your mind, what can you see? If you're not seeing the global space, then you'll be limited to your area. And some people selling in Lagos alone is a big success to them.
Yeah.
Whereas some people selling in Nigeria is good, and selling in West Africa. So it depends on the vision they have set for themselves. Some growing could be you partnering with other companies and in other places.
Yes.
Could be acquiring those other companies, and could come in with value. If a business is not doing well, maybe in one country, and you are inspired, you have what it takes to make it grow.
Yeah.
That idea may even take that business further. Then you sell your idea. So growth should be a plan from beginning for everyone.
Yes.
But they must be open enough. But what you see around in Africa today is everybody wants to be the owner. Yes. Everybody wants to be the center point for things. But in the global space, we look at businesses that have done very well. It's all around listening, sticking to the vision when necessary and where it's bringing productivity and the results you admire. But majorly, open your mind and determine what you really want.
Yeah.
And if you want growth, you have to cooperate with people. You have to take in ideas. You have to learn. And sometimes, in Dell, we've learned how to learn, unlearn, relearn, and keep learning. Yeah. Because, predominantly, the things that I started to sell, we're doing business, we're calling business in about 10 years ago, but not the same thing we have today.
Yes.
We're talking about cloud computing today. We're talking about artificial intelligence. We're talking about
even 5G and nano chips and all these things.
Yeah, we're talking about 5G. It started from I used to remember 2G, the way it shows on my phone. Then to 4G and things like that. So you have to grow, and need. I believe the human need brings growth, because that's what drives innovation. You're always trying to innovate, to come up with new things, new ideas. And as long as that idea is sellable, please go for it. Try your hands on many things.
So, the key takeaway for everybody is, find the growth, right?
Yeah.
Whether you need to expand or acquire or partner, find the growth. Thank you. You touched on something that's more or less an emerging technology, right? Cloud computing. And so far, one of the biggest examples we've seen is Amazon's web service, right? And how that has led to a new generation of startups, right? Are there downsides or are there cons that people need to be aware of before deciding on whether they should move their business to the cloud, right? So, we've seen a lot of the pros. So are there things that can balance out that movement to the cloud?
You talked about Amazon Web Services. Yeah, it's a good business. That's one of the things that's made Jeff Bezos one of the richest men in the world, because he's getting services all across the world. If I speak to people in business owners in Nigeria, they want to move their businesses to the cloud. Cloud is a concept, and I need people to understand that basically it's a concept. It's still where do you want to consume services from in terms of IT or infrastructure services. Do you need to move to cloud? Depending on the size of your business, and where you are, and what is most relevant to your business per time.
Okay.
Many people have moved to the cloud and moved back from the cloud, back to the on-prem. You know, we call it on-premises. So you build your own system in-house.
Yeah.
And you know, and Dell Technology is very good at that. And Dell Technologies give you the choice, either from on-prem to the cloud, or you want to have a hybrid.
Yes.
A hybrid of both, because now where's your business, what it is, what is it, does the cost model work for you?
Yeah.
Does the engineering work for you in terms of, and looking at Nigeria today, and the way our currency is in terms of benchmarking against dollars.
Okay.
If you're in Amazon Web Services, you have to pay in dollars. Then you can't determine your cost from beginning.
Yes.
How many businesses can actually really afford that? You can't plan and say, this is my cost. And because that is your cost that determines your selling price. So if you can't determine your cost, then you need to really think about what's best for my business. Cloud is a concept. You can either have a private cloud, you can build your own cloud and consume. But most businesses, because they're startups, they want the minimal entry, they may need to start from the cloud. There are local cloud providers in Nigeria, other than Amazon Web Services. Look at the local places like MTN. MTN is offering cloud service, and I know. So you don't kill yourself with the overhead or unpredictable cost.
You know, it's a good thing to know that, because many startups, for instance, they pride themselves on that agility of, you know, we try something, if it doesn't work for us, we move back. So that choice will definitely come in handy. Is there any other emerging technology that you are seeing, or what do you think the future of innovation will be?
The immediate future, I'll put it that way. I look at the predictions, and they say between 2020 and 2030, the human and machine interaction is going to increase. So if you're going to invest, you need to start looking at that so well, because then you're talking about the machine learning and the artificial intelligence, and the likes of it. But I think immediately the transformation happening globally, it's pretty much around blockchain. You see, the use cases are endless. It's around in the fintech, in the payment, in the medical space,
even government,
and administration, in contract management, in everything. You know, there is application of blockchain in this space, and for me, I watch out for blockchain. And you know, the subset of it is the cryptocurrency, and you know, it's a moving train. You want to hop in now, or you want to hop in later? It's your choice.
We'll leave that space.
We'll
leave that for people to decide on, you know, when and whether they decide to opt in. All right, enough of the serious stuff. So everybody that's been on my show have to play this game. It's called This or That.
Am I paid?
We'll talk about it after.
Paid for it? Okay.
So I'll basically call two options, and you choose one. You have 1 second to reply.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
All right. Great. So Windows or iOS?
Windows for work, iOS for lifestyle.
Okay. Laptop or tablet?
Both.
No, this one.
Laptop.
All right, cool. Call or text?
Text.
4G or 5G?
5G.
Okay. Audio or visual for online meetings?
Depends what time of the day, but I'll prefer visual.
Black or gray for tablets?
Oh, gray. Gray is trendy.
All right, nice. I prefer black though, but yeah.
Why would you prefer black?
I mean, it combines with a lot of things. Thank you very much for your time. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you.
It's been an exciting conversation with the country lead of Dell Technologies. Keep watching the Big Tech Show to find out who's next.